All right, a very good morning. You are watching West Nile Television. This is the Kokoliriko show with me, Frederick Dramadri, here on Weatherhead Park Lane. We are located here in a road from such an hour to 9 a.m. And we have a lot that will be really talking in this show. And remember, this is a topical kind of show where we discuss issues. We don't come here to speculate or say a lot of propaganda and we move away. We discuss issues of pertinent nature, issues that affect the communities, issues that affect governments, issues that affect everyone. And we look forward to bringing all this to ionize some of those issues and really make sure that the only ultimate goal, that is development, is achieved. Remember, it is very important that you get tuned or really watch this show up to the dot. Remember, we'll be having also a guest who will be tackling the issues of infant mortalities and the prenatal deaths that have registered as a region as West Nile. And remember, on the Uganda Demographic Health Survey report, that is 2022, that was released recently in September, West Nile has been one of the worst performing districts as far as the prenatal deaths are concerned, and more seriously with the death of a mother. And remember, Uganda has been fighting for a way to ensure that no mother dies, no child dies at birth, and this has been really a very serious issue. But last week, we were able to see that a mother died in Marasa district, and that is so serious. That is the weight of the issues that we'll be really deliberating on. What are the factors that are contributing to this? How do we really bridge that gap, which is making this region to be one of the leading in terms of child mortalities? And that is where we'll be discussing a lot of issues once the guest is in. That will be in the second hour. We'll be having that. And before we move to that, those who are watching us, welcome you so very much, and appreciate that every time you are participating with us. Those who are watching us from Senegal, I remember very well Isaac, who has been streaming and watching us through the YouTube channels. Please, we appreciate you very much for spearheading those West Nilers who are in the diaspora, who are watching us from different parts of this continent and those abroad. And we say thank you very much. And those who are watching us within Arua City, Mariokolo, Koboko, Yumbem, Ajumani, Moyo, Terego, and these other local governments. Talk about Nebi Municipality, Nebi District, Zombo, Pakwach, and you will talk about many other districts. That is Arua District, by the way. Sometimes when you call Arua City, you forget of the district. So Arua District is there. We'll appreciate your time. You people, we are very proud of you. That's why we are here. That's why we have named this show Kokoliriko. It is just to wake you up. Those who have not yet prepared themselves to go for work, let's be in touch and really make sure that we speed up the processes of preparing to go for work. Remember, at 8 we expect teachers to be on the compounds and start doing all those activities. Remember, this week is for the teachers. Teachers who are out there, we say thank you very much, that you should be able to be honored, because it is you, this profession that is of the teachers. The teachers build the nation, and without you, we are not there to come to speak boldly like that. And with our local languages, we may not really stand strong. But if you have the unifying language, okay, that is the English that our teachers teach, and now we have Kishore Hill and so on. We learn all this through you. It's not our mothers, our parents who teach this. So we're proud of you. We salute you as you celebrate your day tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow there are different venues that have been designated to celebrate and commemorate the teacher day. And for Arua City, it will be in Onduparaka. Arua District will be in Yeruba, and Terego will have it at Leju Town Council. And Mariokolo District, I don't know, I've not gotten the exact place. And Nebi Municipality will be there, still within that playgrounds of Paida. And you have Zombo, which will be having theirs at the district headquarters, and Pakwasi the same. And this is the gesture we want to see. Can we give the teachers that leverage to share with their colleagues, to share with the public what they are facing? Because we have over talked about poor performance. You may never know, it is the teachers who are facing some problems somewhere. Let's pay attention and listen to them, because they are the nation is, and that is where we really congratulate them. And let me have a wrap up of some of the stories that we are going to move through, and maybe we can start from Arua City. Arua City is currently hosting the Paralympics Games, and those are games for persons with disabilities. Different disabilities are already here in Arua City. Started yesterday with screening of the participants, and the event is expected to start by tomorrow. So officially tomorrow the games will start, including those there are so many games, swimming, doing what, diving, a lot of games. They know them very well. And for those of you who want to really come and watch, come there. There are so many. You will see talent. Those of you who actually believed that the persons with disabilities do not have anything that they can show, that's where you'll be really amazed, and you'll have your time well spent here in Arua City for the next 3 days. That will be the national competitions, and it is here in Vara. And some of the venues we have not yet got them, but the one which is confirmed is Mvara Secondary School, and that is where the games are currently being played. And away from that, you have this other issue to do still within sports. In Uganda, now the MPs are warning the sports ministry over the issues of corruption, and there were a lot of discussions in yesterday's parliamentary sittings, and there were issues to do with the opportunity that the Pamoja AFCON 2027 that will be coming to Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, and these 3 countries will be hosting it, and there's already an issue to do with infrastructure that is being highlighted, a big blow for Uganda. Remember in 2006, where Kenya was supposed to host the AFCON, it was taken to South Africa just because of the issues to do with infrastructure development, and also many other issues, issues that are related to preparations. They were not adequately prepared. Just 6 months to the games, it was shifted to South Africa. So we don't expect this to happen this year again. Okay, 2027 is still there. We can still do something in building these stadiums that we have. Okay, in Uganda, we have so many now that are coming from almost all the districts. Almost all the districts are constructing these facilities for sports. Terego districts, the one of Terego district is now at 90%. They are already just now constructing the wall fence. That is a very, very good proud that we have for West Nile. And also we have another one here at Arua Hill. We hope this will be really fast track because it started some time back. And we expected that this should be expedited to ensure that we also host these, maybe 2 or 3 of them here, some of those games here, and that will be a business coming to the region. So parliamentarians are expecting that as we allocate a lot of block figures for infrastructure development, the issues of corruption should be out, and that is what is coming from Peter Ogwank, who is ahead of this sporting world that we have in this country. And he says it is quite unfortunate that when they allocate resources to such a department and people go and maneuver their ways to chop some of these monies, it is quite unfortunate that we will not really have the games hosted by Uganda, and that will be so unfortunate. Once we have resources allocated, we should be able to really utilize them maximally. Yesterday, those were some of the issues that were coming, and then we show a number of political analysts and ex-ministers coming up boldly to say that the quarrels that we have seen among the ministers, especially the ladies, should be a stunting block and to development, that really president needed to do something about that. That is just the opinion. We may not say something much about this. And across the world, we have seen also the concerns about air pollution that is causing a lot of havoc, okay, in terms of respiratory tract infections. Experts, health analysts are saying that if we continue with this trend, currently the world records 7 million deaths associated with air pollution every year. And if we continue with that trend, that means by 2050, we should be losing 1 billion persons in a year. That means majority of us will be dying because of these respiratory tract infections that are arising from this air pollution. Air pollution is caused by so many or various factors. We have the bush burnings, the what, and you have these vehicles that we are driving every time. How do we safeguard from that? And that's why most of the companies are shifting away from the use of diesel, use of petrol, to the use of electronic machines. And that's where copper, diamond are so important at the moment. And countries that have those kind of minerals will be able to scoop a lot of money. That's why Uganda and Kenya have teamed up to say that no, we need to regulate the mining sector and ensure that we formalize every processes. As we maybe sell or export the raw materials that we have, we should be able to add value to them, or we should be able to make sure that we get investors to venture into the manufacturing industry other than exporting them as raw, and we later on go and buy from these companies that we have actually exported raw materials to. Remember, the raw material is very cheaper than the value added materials, okay? Things that have been made out of the raw materials are not really cost effective, but are profit oriented. The companies that have added the values will add more of those monies on those things, and more figures will be added, and that brings a lot of profit. Maybe a kilogram of gold, once somebody has added value to it, maybe has started making these necklaces and so on, some of this jewelry and so on. You know how expensive jewelry is. And from one gold, somebody will be able to really tap a lot of money. That is the beauty of value addition. And that's where really countries need to move towards that if we want to tap from this. We have our neighbors, DR Congo, that has continued to lose its raw materials. Remember, so many publications have been about how untapped raw material, minerals are there in DRC, and that have not been tapped. And because of the nature of the artisanal mining that is not regulated in DRC, it has exposed the country to this kind of people who go there to really excavate or explore these minerals and mine them illegally. They are able to get the profits other than the government benefiting. But also in Uganda, it's the same. We have companies that are licensed, and because we don't have mechanisms to monitor the quantity of these minerals that are mined by these companies, it is very hard for us to trace how much are we losing in terms of undeclared proceeds or undeclared minerals that have already been mined. A company may underdeclare. That's one way of dodging taxes. It is also contributing to illicit financing. Illicit financing, I earlier on told you that it is one thing that comes as a result of so many avenues, simples or symptoms come. This may be through smuggling, through under declaration, through tax evasion, these minor systems, and that is one way. Once you under declare, that means you'll be charged the low profit you'll be charged on low profits. That means government will not know how much you are really doing, and that means government needs to do a lot in terms of expediting supervision and monitoring to capture all these gaps, because this mining industry of Uganda has so much been centralized. It will be worth that we should decentralize that ministry and ensure that local governments take up the mantle of doing monitoring, and they should be frequently on daily basis reporting on the progress of the activities of these companies, because most of these companies are privately owned, and they are up to profits. They are not doing charitable works. Maybe they are doing donations and so on, but because they are venturing into profit-oriented ventures, they may not really do much to expose or declare some of these minerals that they have mined. So that is up to us, that if we want to tap those monies, if we want to develop this nation with those good trillions of monies that were declared in July 2022, we should be able to accept that we have a loophole here and we need to bridge it. Because most times the local governments have complained that these companies that are licensed to do mining do not really come to their offices, much as maybe they might declare that they are coming to do this, and so on, but the mandates have not solely been given to the local governments to go and monitor them. Sometimes the company officials intimidate these local government officials because they feel like you are not the one regulating my activity. You are not the one giving me the license. There is no power you have to revoke my license, and that is where the local governments have found themselves into. And if we don't really do much in empowering the local governments to also look at the mining sector in a critical way, we will not really have the monies tapped for the better of this country. Remember, there are so many raw materials that are mined in this country. You have the sand, which is mined throughout the country, and large water bodies are getting thinner and thinner because of the activities. And you find that the impact of these activities on infrastructure that has been developed, talk about the bridges, is so immensely seen that government loses a lot of money in terms of establishing new structures, especially the bridges, the culverts, and so on. That is it. And let's take a break. When we come back, we'll be ushering in our guest, and we'll talk about those health things. And let's take a break right now. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region. West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, a very good morning. You are still watching West Nile Television, Kokoliriko. So here on West Nile Television, I tell you that there's a lot that is changing in the scene of health. And you realize that yesterday there was a new declaration of another vaccine that is for malaria that has been really verified, and it has been undergoing trials. So now it is being declared open for countries to start using, and this vaccine is expected to be really effective for a long period of time compared to the one that was declared the first, which was in 2021, that was only lasting for a period of 1 or 2 months, maybe which was effective for maybe within a month or 2 months, depending on the person. But now we have a long-lasting one that is somehow better, that has been declared. Yesterday, the Director General of Health Services, which is Tedros Ghebreyesus, communicated that this will be really a very good one, which is also a bit cheaper for nations, especially in the sub-Saharan Africa, where Uganda also falls. But also you realize that the malaria burden has still continued to be a very heavy threat in this world, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, where we lie. And in Uganda specifically, the situation is not any different from any other country, but we are trying to go with that. But he communicated further that much as this vaccine is there, this should not stop people from using the mosquito nets, okay? Your bed nets should continue, we should continue using them, but also these other preventive measures like cleaning your compound, making sure that the accumulation of water is not at your home state. But also by roadsides, we should be able to make sure that our pavements are clean, water is able to flow where the rivers are, and we should not really have that tendency of building houses around water or streams, or maybe talk about valleys, rivers, and so on. Especially along now, we have so many people who are constructing, and that is a danger to your health. So that is where we are coming from. I earlier also informed you that we'll be having a guest that is coming from Arua City Health Department. He's a clinical officer. We'll be discussing a lot of issues to do with the infant mortalities, and also the issues to do with perinatal deaths. The deaths under 5s, it be among the under 5s, the children, the mothers, and so on, are the most victims to this. And the recent survey that was reported, that was released by Uganda Demographic Health Survey 2022, and this was released in 2023 September, okay, just a month ago, and it clearly indicates that the West Nile region is the leading in terms of infant mortalities. If you look at some of those statistics, we have, it varies from district to district. 15 to 34 deaths are registered in these districts on monthly basis, and that is a scare to the nation, and that's where we are driving from. I want to usher in my guest, and after ushering him in, we'll go and have what stakeholders say, and then we will start from there. Maybe my guest is right here. It's Jonathan Haas. You're most welcome to West Nile TV studios.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Frederick, for receiving me this morning in West Nile TV. I'm really very grateful to be with you here. Okay,
all right, that is him, and as I told you that he's a clinical officer. He works with the Arua City Health Department, and that's where really clinical officers are more people with communities, okay, in those lower health facilities, in where, and so on. They have the experiences, they know what is happening from home up to the health facilities. And this one, I picked him direct from one of the health facilities in Arua City, and that's where he will be really telling us a lot to do with that. Maybe let's move to the studios and see what is happening. The production team, can you usher us to what people said about these cases that are alarming? Okay, as we wait for them, let's move on. And you realize that cases that are reported are mostly coming from rural settings, okay, where people feel like the health facilities are a bit far away from them, and most of the health facilities do not offer some of these services. Talk about vaccination, talk about antenatal care, in terms of those cases that are a bit need maybe that need equipments and so on. Much as equipments have been deployed. If you look at the statistics that has been also disseminated about the equipment use and some of those other things, you realize that most of the equipments talk about the ultrasound scans, talk about the drugs themselves for malaria. They are not there. Remember, 2 quarters, most of the districts in this region did not receive drugs. Okay, we should be aware about that. This is contrary. That means the number of deaths can increase around that time. When, if you don't have the coin, it is hard for you to really go and start taking on some of those drugs, but also having the issues to do with the equipments. The complaints have been shifted to the issues to do with the capacity of these health workers, then the issues to do with electricity. Most of the health facilities do not have electricity connection from maybe the national grid, or you talk about Kokoliriko, which is supplying electricity here. And some of them have small solars that cannot run some of these machines. I don't know if that is the same perspective you have, because from the report I was seeing all those things featuring. Let's move on with this.
Leaders in Western region are blaming the high infant mortality rates to a range of factors, including poverty, missed antenatal visits, low immunization rates, child marriages, teenage pregnancies, and the surge in malaria cases. These have been evidenced in most of the heated districts of Mariokolo, Nepi, Terego, and Arua districts. Cited in the 2022-2023 Uganda Demographic Health Survey report, the region has a troubling trend, with infant and prenatal deaths on the rise in all the districts, ranging from 15 to 34 deaths per 1,000 births, something resulting to the causes of newborn deaths, stillbirths, and deaths among the under 5s that vary from district to district. Christopher Radiku, the community health officer at Arua Regional Referral Hospital, confirms that various factors ranging from nutritional deficiencies and other concerns are attributed to the surge in the infant mortalities.
Issues of nutritional deficiencies also are on the increase. So that also adds on the infant mortalities, alongside the commonest being malaria and sometimes respiratory infections as well.
Despite improvements in the health facility deliveries across the country, Western Sub-region lags behind, with only Arua City, Moyo, and Nepi districts performing above 68% in the 2022-2023 Uganda Demographic Health Survey report. Jessica Draru, the district health officer in charge of maternal child health in Marsa district, reveals that poor attitudes of the community members towards antenatal visits as well as family planning has triggered the widespread child mortalities.
The communities have been pampered so much. The pampering of the community has led even to some members telling you that when you ask them, why haven't you come for this clinic? Why haven't you brought your child? I just felt relaxed. You see? I just feeling lazy to come. Such answers, what do I do as a nurse? It is your life. And you are telling me I'm feeling relaxed. Maybe we need to do a lot through the LCs, through the VSTs. I don't know what we can do best, but the community is forgetting its role, even refusing referrals.
Some of the health workers share different opinions over the increase in prenatal deaths and infant mortalities.
I have one child, but they are single mothers. Ask randomly in this town here, or town and other places. Then the issue of drugs, it's leading here. Do we expect indicators to improve when we see these negative things?
This is more compounded by the alarming teenage pregnancy cases, with almost all the districts except Jumana and Moyo that registered rates of less than 15%, Zombo 28%, and Arua City 27% teenage pregnancies. Moses Dalili, Pakwasi District Chief Administrative Officer, says all the stakeholders need to be involved so as to avoid cases of abortion among the young children.
Parents moving to the health facility for antenatal care. You see a young boy and a young girl as people have gone for antenatal care. And that is almost the same thing we have seen in Pakwasi. So we are doing the survey to establish the burden, but our appeal is that children must be taken to school.
In a bid to address the concerns that exist as blockages for universal access to quality health service delivery, including long distances to health facilities, among others, leaders are urging government to national health policy implementation for the survival of the newborns. Frederick Shamadri, West Nile TV, Nilecast.
Right, that is the situation in Western region, and the perspective of health workers who had gathered to really discuss the Uganda Demographic Health Survey Report 2022 and really understanding the niche of some of the issues that are happening in the region, localizing it to some of those factors that I've seen. Talk about the issues of teenage pregnancy that they highlighted, the issues of abortion that has been aided by private health facilities, okay? Those are some of the issues that are coming down. Poor attitude among the community members. Let's pick it from the issues to do with the malaria vaccine that has been released. Joa, let me hear from you. How do you think this will really help us as Uganda that lies around the Sub-Saharan Africa region really to reduce on some of the cases of the disease burden that we have in this region?
Yeah, thank you so much, my dear moderator. As you know, malaria is one of the challenging infectious diseases within our communities. If you happen to go deep down to the villages, you will find that malaria is really the villages a lot. And some of these things that we see are attributed to factors of behavior change. And if the behaviors are not transformed and the communities continue to remain in their usual behavior, and then there is high chances of malaria prevalence. And it will be of great importance if also our vaccine that is being discovered by WHO is worked on. Because I see there is a really high need for this vaccine. If this vaccine is really processed and is brought to the communities, and then I see there is high chances of reducing malaria prevalence in our country. You know, malaria almost kills up to 67% of children. If you look at among the sick children who are also infected with malaria. And most of these things are not easy within the communities, because you'll find in our communities, deep down there in the village, when a child falls sick, someone will want to see this child struggling for 2 to 3 days with this malaria before this child is taken to a health facility. And then this is a big challenge. And then when vaccine is introduced and it is given out to the communities, I see there is high chances of us reducing malaria prevalence and disease burden for Uganda.
Okay, in the Ugandan situation, we have seen a lot of issues to do with the attitude. Let's move to attitude. If you realize that when they were rolling out the into residual spray, there were so many people who believed that this was not really something they wanted, and as a result, you realize that so many people ignored their houses being sprayed with that. But also we have this mentality of people using mosquito nets for tying goats, making rope, and also doing other things, maybe safeguarding their seedlings. These have been really so much evidence. And how far have the health workers gone to the extreme of maybe changing the mindset of the people?
My dear moderator, this issue of changing the attitude and the mindset of the communities is not only the role of health workers, and this is a cooperative role.
But what role do the health workers play in that? Because we have seen sometimes, apart from the VSCs, but at the health facility, if you have gone for maybe testing for typhoid and so on, I expected that at some segment these kind of messages be disseminated, because that is the area where health is talked most.
Yeah, in our in health facility setting, mostly there is what we call health education that we normally give to patients before and after sometimes they see the doctor, because the reason of doing this is most of some of the challenges we face is not because we wanted to face it, but because of our attitude. When the attitude is not changed, so you will see to it that we cannot be able to transform someone's life, because here now comes the aspect of curative and preventive measures. If you only give someone medication without the prevention skills, then after 2 to 3 days after finishing this medication, this person is going to come back to you again, because the person does not have the mindset being changed. Because, like especially as you had mentioned, people using mosquito nets to make goat ropes. And then also some of them, they also use these kind of things to cover their seedlings. So these are some of the things that we are doing at the health facility setting during the period of health talk, because there is what we call health education or health talk that we normally give to the patients at OPD. You know, our health education we give, we only give it mostly to the patients and then their attendants. But now, reaching to the community is also another factor, whereby most of our health workers, they are trying to reach there. These are mostly done by the health assistants and also health inspectors. You know, in this category, the number, if the number of the communities are enough, that means there needs to be enough number that needs to reach down there. And also our VHTs, they are also doing their best in doing this behavior change factor. And most of these things now, you know, when you give an information to someone, it's up to this person to either take the information or not to take the information, because here now you cannot force someone to take the information. But although we also enforce the public health law or the Public Health Act in some of these cases.
Have you arrested anyone? Because the Public Health Act is very, very clear that once government is trying to fight a public health threat and you decide to push your effort towards sabotaging or reducing the efforts of the fight, you should be arrested. So I'm just trying to ask you, is it that the health workers go on to arrest these kind of persons what kind of disciplinary actions do you take against such persons? Because we have so many laws, by the way. We have so many laws that do bar some of these contrary activities that people do. But we have not seen the enforcement there. But much as we talk about the laws, they are there, and so on, the enforcement has been a challenge. So you have said you are already enforcing it. In what ways, how uniquely do you actually enforce some of these health or public health acts that we have in this country?
You know, some of these, the law is also very careful when we are enforcing it. And then you see, when we look into the aspect of enforcing the law, there it has to be very careful because there are procedures there to follow. And then, like, especially when someone, the toilet is not the required one, or the person does not have a toilet, first of all, this person has to be informed, and then there are so many procedures to be done. And then after informing this person, you have to give this person some time, and then it is maybe until after maybe 42 days that maybe you can be able to take an action. But you know, arresting someone is not the solution.
because without arresting, you cannot charge the person.
Because the most important thing there is to change the behavior. You know, some of those things are brought in a way that this person needs to be given time, and then as the person is given time, the person needs to be informed, and then why these things is needed. And then if this thing is not done, what is the effect to the community, to him, and then also to the entire country? So we're looking to several aspects when we are enforcing these laws. And when we are also enforcing these laws, we also face challenges there in the community. Some of these community members will be violent, others will want to attack you. And there are so many challenges there also in the community. But though, we cannot also rely on the challenges, but we are here because we want to overcome that challenge so that we see there is a transformation in our community.
True. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll go into understanding the issues to do with the infant mortalities and how prominent are these issues at health facility level, and what are the factors we want to understand from that perspective of a health worker, not really these social behaviors that are outside here. We want to see what is it from the health facility levels that we are not, as West Nile, not really improving over the years. Remember, in 2016 report, we had at least an improvement, but now it has declined. What is going on wrong? That's where we want to go to. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, we are back with the discussions to do with the infant mortalities, and earlier on we were discussing the beauty of the developments in the health sector. Remember, the World Health Organization has authorized the use of the second vaccine that has been produced from India, and this is expected to be moving to other countries. Countries like Ghana and Burkina Faso have started using this vaccine, and it is the best one now compared to the first one, which was really not really yielding any fruit for quite a long period of time. But also they have said, much as the vaccine is out, people should continue using other preventive measures. Prevention is better than cure. That's where we are coming from. And let's move away from that. We have a guest that we are discussing some of these issues with, and let's move to the surge in infant mortalities in Western region. And really, this has been something that is touching lives of so many people, and many feel like we should really start enforcing vividly some of this Public Health Act, and looking at the attitude change. We should really invest a lot of money in sensitizing the communities on their roles to ensure that we save more young newborns to be alive. And I have with me here a clinical officer from Arua City Health Department, that is Ejua Fenehash. We are discussing these issues with him. First of all, Ejua, let me usher you in by asking this question. What is the experience from these health facilities that is really making this the burden of infant mortalities and prenatal deaths increasing each and every time? Yes, you can pick it from there.
Thank you so much, my dear colleague. When you look at the issue of prenatal and also child death in our facilities, in most cases, there are several factors attributed to this. As I said before, the issue of behavior change is one of the major things that needs to be intervened in. Because if we don't look deeper into the aspect of behavior change in our communities, we will have a big challenge. And then this result will not reduce, because most of these challenges we see, which are coming to the country as a disease burden, is because of the issue of behavior change.
Maybe what are the behavioral issues that are attached and that are leading to some of these issues that are coming now?
Yes. When we look into the behavior change issues, first of all, when you look at the aspect of treatment, you know, communities, when you look at specifically children, communities, when they're at household level there, you'll find that once someone falls sick, they may start a dose for treatment, like especially for malaria. And when this malaria is in a severe state, they might start treatment. And then you'll find in the due course of the treatment, they may not finish the dose of the treatment. And then this dosaging that they are undertaking, you'll find it's not prescribed, maybe by a health worker. They just go to a clinic or to where they can be able to get some of these medications, or else they might go previously to a health facility and get maybe a quarter, and then someone may use a half dose, and then share this half dose with also another patient. You'll find that at the end of the day, this person does not finish the treatment that is required to overcome the power of this parasite. So in turn, the same thing when it happens to children, you'll find that this child now develops complication because the child does not finish the treatment of malaria, and then in turn things like sepsemia may come in.
Sepsemia is what?
When we look at sepsemia is otherwise in a layman's language we define it as infection in the blood. The blood becomes infected. That means things to do with like bacterial infections, they now come in because the child's body immunity is reduced or lowered by the malaria parasite, which is not completely treated. So in due course, you'll find this child will start to develop weakness until maybe these people can also start to contain this weakness at household level. And then you'll find where the parents are busy, they may cover this child inside here and then also go for their household work, maybe in the garden or in some various places, and then may come to see this child late in the evening where you'll find this child develops complications like anemia, and then also the child might develop convulsions, and then several other factors that may come in as a result of this. And then not knowing that when these complications, they develop like this, the more money you spend. And then as a result, you'll find once these children are brought to they might also bring to the facility, or on the way bringing to the facility, the child might die. So you know this thing now needs a lot of behavior factor change, which is not only the role of the health workers, but as the entire community have to take role, our leaders, the politicians, and then also our community-based organizations, and then also our non-governmental organizations. Most of us who are in this area of humanity factor change, we need now to take up this and also do a lot for this community, for these communities. Because if we do not invest our knowledge more into this, then I see there is a big threat of disease burden for Uganda. It is true. Okay.
So what are some of the factors? And besides the attitude of the community, besides some of the things that are supposed to be done by community, at health facility level, what is the situation like? Are our health workers well versed with handling our mothers and also responding to these children that have been brought from home? I know sometimes the delays from communities contributes a lot into this. But when you have a mother dying, that might maybe arise from a situation of a health facility incompetencies, I may say. But what are those things that maybe make health workers not respond quickly to some of these situations that happen?
Yeah, thank you so much, my dear brother. When you look at the aspect of the health facility now, and at health facility level, there are also several factors that we look into. First of all, the issue of equipments and also drugs. You know, once, even if you have the knowledge, but the drug is not there, and then also the required equipments are not there, and then you will fail also to save life. Because the knowledge that you get goes concurrently with the equipments and then also the drugs. And then also, as it has been said before, sometimes our mothers, they also do delay at household level. Sometimes someone will wish to see to what extent will this thing happen first before this person goes to the health facility. But I would like to discourage that kind of behavior. If our mothers could come to the health facility at early state, it will be of great importance. And then we also do give health education to most of them when they do turn up for this antenatal care. And one of the things I have also noticed at that level is also teenage pregnancy. Sometimes when mothers get pregnant at early stage, you'll find some of these teenage mothers, they fear to come to the health facility the moment they conceive. Because sometimes when they conceive, they will wish not their parents to let their parents not to know, because they also have that fear that if their parents know that they're pregnant, and then it can also be another issue for them. So because of some of these challenges, you'll find the mother might not report to the health facility. Maximally, a mother is supposed to, minimally, a mother is supposed to report 4 times for an antenatal care. And you'll find out of these 4 times a mother is supposed to report, you'll find sometimes this mother is not reported for an antenatal care. And then this is also a big challenge in the development of this baby. Because this mother, at the end of the day, when is going to give birth, may not have the confidence, because at antenatal care, we give a lot of health education, we give a lot of counseling, we do a lot of things during that moment. And then we also give them some medications, that is to strengthen the unborn baby. Some of these things we do them also, we give them education alongside the issue of nutrition. What kind of feeding do you need to undertake? Because if the feeding is not also okay, the baby may not mature well. Because a baby who is born less than 2.5 kgs is an underweight, is not recommended. But there is need a lot of need for nutritional challenge to be solved, so that this mother can bring up a healthy child. Because if the child is born weak, this is also another challenge. And then it can also affect the entire life of this child, and then also it can bring in some complications like early death. So these are some of the areas briefly I can look at. Okay, but though there are more. Yes,
maybe we will exhaust most of them later on. And if you look at the situational analysis for West Nile, and the biggest contributors of mortalities in this region have been attributed to some of the diseases that have been highlighted as the first one is malaria, that has increased the weight of these infant mortalities, and also talk about the issues to do with anemia, which falls second. And that means we have a lot to do with iron deficiencies. That is something we need to sort from the home or household level. And earlier on, we were discussing about the new vaccine, and where we talked about bitterly about how really we should safeguard from this disease called malaria. And remember, malaria has continued to be one of the deadly diseases that has continued to be a factor to aid other diseases, to weaken the bodies, and also to fast track somebody's death. And that is one thing that has been highlighted. Maybe what is the situation of malaria at the facility level, if you move randomly at any facility or OPD where some of these diseases are diagnosed?
Yeah. When you look at malaria, malaria is actually the biggest challenge within our region. You know, our region has provided a conducive environment for malaria parasites to live.
Because how has it provided a very conducive environment? Because we expected the fight against malaria to be increasing, because we have so many interventions that government is rolling. But now if you are saying it is providing a very conducive environment, that means there's something that is wrong. Maybe how has the region facilitated the ongoing malaria in this region?
Actually, it is not to deal with the human beings, but when you look at the vegetation and also the temperature, and also the water bodies within our area, these are some of the exact things that malaria parasites needs in order to breed and in order to multiply more. And then our coupling with our behavior changes, these are some of the challenges that brings along the increase in the number of malaria patients within this region. And of recent, we have been doing an outreach with Mary Stops Uganda, that was under Oli Health Center at Ondoparaka. So we discovered most of the patients that we tested there, a majority were having malaria. Then when you express that one as a percentage out of 100%, we discovered almost 63% of the patients were having malaria. So this is a clear sign that truly malaria is a big threat to our region. Because if we don't look into real intervention areas that are able to curb this, and then that means in short period of time, we shall have high rates of death due to malaria. And some of these factors that have attributed a high rate of malaria in our area is, first of all, as we had mentioned before, it was behavior change. And then number two, when you look at also our health facilities, there are some areas where you find that the distance from home to the health facility is a little bit very far. And also some of these community members, they feel lazy to travel this distance to go up to the health facilities. And then this is also another challenge I see amidst the community members. And then another challenge is the communities have taken up diagnosis into their hands because, why do I say so? Is because when someone feels body pain and feels maybe fever, and then this person may go into a drug shop or to a place where he can easily obtain these medications and also buy a painkiller like Extradol, maybe most of these painkillers they buy and take. And then you'll find after 2 to 3 days, this person continues to take this painkiller. And then as the person continues to take the painkiller, you'll find that the parasite for it does not sleep. It continues to multiply in the body. And then until it becomes a severe condition in the life of this person, because as the person was taking the painkiller to kill the pain, the malaria parasite is multiplying. So this kind of behavior, we needed to avoid them. First of all, before you take any medication, you need to go to a nearby health facility and check malaria and check what is real the problem. Good enough, most of our health facilities like Yoli and the other government facilities, they offer consultations for free, and then in some of these areas, in some of these facilities, you can also go and do tests. And then though there is no medication, if there is no medication in those facilities, you can be able to test, and then the doctor writes for you the right medication, then you can go and buy from pharmacy or from drug shop. And then this can be able to solve the challenge of us having the challenges of anemia, and then also the challenges of death due to malaria, or having complications developed as a result of malaria.
Okay. When we were listening to the clips that I brought earlier on, and you realize that some of the issues have been attributed to the people rejecting referrals. How do you handle this situation at your facilities generally? Because we saw a scenario that a mother rejected a referral but eventually died afterwards, and this is a pregnant mother that was expected to deliver, but because of the, you know, when people feel here that I'm going to undergo cesarean section, it threatens sometimes people's lives, and people feel like it is something that is going to kill them, or they are about to die. And those are moments where you find that the deaths among our mothers continue to persist in Western region. And there were a lot of policies around health that every policy should have a health center 2, every county should have a health center 3, and these were some of the things to curb the distance issues. And people are saying they don't have money to facilitate the referrals and so on. And many times when people are referred to a regional referral hospital, what comes in their mind is, how will I sustain being at the facility, and also how will I really move to that facility. Remember, sometimes you health workers also ask for the money for the fuel. So how do you deal with these issues at the health facility level? Let me hear from you.
Yeah, thank you so much, moderator. First of all, when you look at the issue of curative, in every level, every patient has a right. And then when a patient also applies his or her right, and then it also has to be observed. But in some conditions, some of these things, they needed to be, our people needed to understand that when you are referred for a cesarean section, it is not that you are going to die. A cesarean section is also one of the solutions that will solve the challenge of the death of the child, and then also the death of the mother. Because when you look at this case where the mother refused the referral case, and then here we're going to lose two people. The mother will die, and then also the baby will die, of course. And then this is a very big challenge. And
do you also still respect that right when you have seen that the situation is getting worse, and you feel like you should respect the right of the patient, and the patient is saying, no, I don't want to be referred, and you have seen that this person is about to die, because if we don't refer him or her, she will not be handled at this lower health facility. At that moment, what do you people do? That is a sign of a dilemma that comes in your brain and so on. So what do you do in that scenario?
My dear moderator, when it comes to this area, we sometimes act because not depending on the right of the patient, and then we also do sometimes take this patient to the required facility, where the next facility has to look into what has to be done for this patient. Indeed, if this patient needs cesarean section, and then the relatives have to be there. And then we also seek for the consent of the relatives. Maybe if the husband is there, and then also the close relatives are there, then we seek for their consent. Then that is the reason as to why we normally encourage mothers to move together with their husbands to the health facility to seek for antenatal services. You cannot allow the mother to go there alone. Sometimes some of these things are because of lack of preparation at first level, whereby you do not go for antenatal services, or you do not attend antenatal services fully. And then when the mother does not attend antenatal services fully, then what comes into the mind of this mother? At the time of birth, when you do not have a towel to hold your baby, when you do not have other items, and then when you look at the distance, you don't have the money. Sometimes some of these things are now stress related, because the mother has not been prepared to receive her baby. You know, this is a 9th-month journey. When it is a 9th-month journey, in due course, there needs to be a lot of preparation in this period, mentally, emotionally, and then also spiritually. And then we look into other several factors, economically. So this kind of things needs to be done, so that at the last point where this mother receives her baby, and then receives the baby with happiness. And then we will not see that kind of cases. And then when the mother is even fully prepared, you'll find that when it reaches to the period of giving birth, the mother will be happy. You understand this?
Okay. All right, we'll put that there, and let's move to this. And we've seen this happen in so many, in most of the health facilities, where you find health workers saying, no, we want your husbands to escort you. But there are moments husbands refuse, and women are very tricky. They go for these border borders who take them to these health facilities. How do you people handle some of these issues? Because we show clearly that the cow Pakwach district highlighted that so many mothers have, after conceiving, after delivering, after the border disguising the husband, the second child becomes the one of the border. And how do you people handle some of these issues? Not to avoid some of those cases that may attract DNA and so on. How do you handle this? Because sometime, at some point, the husbands truly, they may refuse to come. But some of them might be away for studies, for maybe some other occasions. Do you go to the extreme of investigating whether really true this man is away, or you just receive this border with the woman and help her? Yes.
On such cases, I am yet to know this also.
Sure. Okay.
It is so interesting, but it's not easy. And at health facility level, we as health workers, what basically we look into is when a mother comes without the husband, we attend to this mother. And then we also give them full attention, especially the midwives who are attending to them. They give them full attention during the course of doing these services, or of offering these services to them. But now, when it now comes to the role of husbands, you know, why we needed husbands, I think before this discussion had explained, it is very important because this is, if you are the one, if you are really a man who has impregnated this woman, there is need for you to show your responsibility. There is need for you not to get ashamed of this mother, because this mother is going to carry your baby for 9 months. Why should you get ashamed of this mother? And in some cases, it is true that some of the husbands, they are very busy, and some of them, they are working class. They go at a distance, and then when we are writing an antenatal card for these mothers, we also do take the history, and then we also do take the biographies, like especially where do you come from, who is your husband, what is the husband's profession, and then we look into several of these areas, and then also we look at the educational level. We also look into these areas because we need to understand what kind of person is this, and how do you approach this person while giving this person health education, and how do you assist this person to the best, so that at the end of the day, this person should feel contented with the services given to the person. Because this is all in order to curb the issue of prenatal deaths.
Okay, dear viewer, you are still watching the Kokoliriko show on Western TV. We are discussing the issues to do with the surge on the child mortalities, okay? The infant mortalities and the prenatal deaths. And this is a very critical issue in Western here. As a country, we expected that after strengthening the health system, we should be able to move away from the deaths among the mothers who are delivering as children, and also with the upgrading of our equipments and health facilities, we should be able to move away from these issues of children dying at birth, and also children dying just because of the negligence of community members or the health workers. And when we come back from this break, we'll be able to move into understanding the genesis and really the issues that are still untapped, okay? There are some issues that are still within the settings of the communities, and also the health as an institution. A lot of things are still not going right. What are those issues? We want to talk about them and then devise a means of really handling them together as a community, as a team. We should be able to light up this region in a good way. Let's take a break.
Nile TV, lighting up the region.
A brand new Global Star TV with StarTimes Inside Technology. New TV innovation with an inbuilt decoder that connects you to both StarTimes antenna and satellite signal. With StarTimes Inside Global Star TV, you can enjoy over 300 local and international channels, 1 month StarTimes highest bouquet for free, automatic system update, more benefits, more affordable. StarTimes Inside Global Star TV is available in all StarTimes branches and dealers countrywide. StarTimes Inside, entertainment inbuilt.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short break. Earlier on, we told you that we'll be moving into the issues that are contributing to this increase in child mortalities and perinatal deaths. You have mothers who are still dying in this country, and yet we had so much or invested so much into the health sector, building the health sector in terms of strengthening with equipments, in terms of the health workers. And the country has gone ahead to elevate the status of Health Center 3s to Health Center 4s, and also some of them will be now having the number of health workers increased, and we will be having medical doctors at Health Center 3 level. This is another plus that we'll be having. And once the recruitment is opened, the burn is opened, many people who are out there looking for these opportunities will be able to be absorbed into the health sector, and that is where we'll be moving to. And as a country, we have a lot to do with still moving away from the infant mortalities and child and mothers dying from health facilities or even at home level. We have these people who are still practicing births, or maybe mothers delivering at homes. They are still existing. There are people who feel comfortable that they can deliver at homes. And one of the fears has been the issues to do with privacy, that a nurse is able to abuse me and also is seeing my things and so on. Some of the mothers have those fears. And the issues of distance to the health facilities have been cited the major issues around this. And many other things. Health Center 2s will be elevated to Health Center 3. And now a new development has come. If you have been going for ANC, that is antenatal care, for 4 months, now it has been increased to 8 times. Okay, for 4 months to 8 times. That means the first month you have realized that you are experiencing as if maybe you have conceived and so on, you should be able to report. That is the first one. The second one is after 2 months. And then it continues like that. And that is one thing that has been a new development from World Health Organization, and also the Ministry of Health has also adopted this. That is the new strategy that has come, and we should be able to impress this. With that, we should be able to eliminate some of these cases of mothers dying, because some of the mothers may be anemic, some of them might be having history of sickle cell, which is also something very difficult to deal with in terms of deliveries, okay? When blood comes out and it becomes unstoppable. But once this is detected earlier, people will be able to really have a better life at the time of delivery. But also you have these other issues to do with other associated health complications. Talk about uterine fibroids that develop also from the womb and shown from the uterus. So where the child is also growing, you have this. So what do you do as a health worker? There's a lot that needs to be done there. So all this will be detected when you turn out for health services earlier, and that is where I want to go. Maybe I have my guest who is still with me here, that is Joafen Has, who is one of the clinical officers attached to Arua City Health Department, and we have been talking a lot of issues around this child deaths and mothers dying. And Western region, remember, has been put to the top, okay, in the whole country by the Uganda Demographic Health Survey in terms of child mortalities and mothers also dying. And these are the issues that we're coming from. Should we get worried and we are burnt on what we're supposed to do? What is it that we can do uniquely? You have teenage pregnancy cases that are still high. And in 2022, there was a report released by UNFPA that shows that 57% of the young girls that you always get on the streets of Arua town, because Arua City was named the leading in terms of sexual intercourse among children, okay? Child sex is looming in Arua City, and that is where they are getting that result from. And they say that 57% of the young girls that you see on the streets, once you call one and ask her whether she has a child, she will tell you, I'm a single mother. A very proud one, by the way. So that is it. So that's where we're coming from. Maybe in terms of mortalities and also the issues to do with the attitude of the community, how do you handle the issues to do with teenagers that are also some of the contributing factors? There are issues to do with abortion. There are issues to do with the neglect of children by both parties. Sometimes when people impregnate these young girls, they feel like they have offended because it is against the law, and you realize that people abandon the child at the expense of hiding themselves from being arrested. Maybe how do you handle some of those issues? Are they existing anyway?
Alongside the issue of abortions, I cannot be able to lament more about that because at our health facilities, those ones are not there because when you look at this area, abortion is completely not something permitted by the law of our country. And when someone happens to do that, this is very illegal, and then that person has to be punished. And then most cases, abortion cases we receive at our health facilities are related to malaria and the other factors. And then like also the urinary tract infections, which can also sometimes induce the unborn baby. And then these are some of examples of abortions that we do receive in our health facilities. I don't know if that one is also there in private facilities, but we needed to look more into that at a later time when interventions are done. Because it is true, when you look at teenage pregnancy, it is really at a high rate. And then when you look at single mothers, the numbers are rising. And then when you ask yourself why, and then these are all attributed to also the issues of behavior change.
By the way, there are also single fathers there. There are ladies who have run away from their responsibility. So that needs to be counted. Yes.
Yeah, single fathers are also there, it is true.
Yes.
And then this is a big challenge and a big blow to the community. And then, you know, when our real African culture is eroded, these are some of the challenges that we may face. Because in our African culture, a lady is supposed to mature well first. That is, by Ugandan law, a lady from above 18 is supposed to be responsible for that. And then when you look at some of these ladies, when you go deeper into the village, even you'll find a lady of 14, 15, 16 having a child and having a baby. And then some of these even you'll wonder. Some of them have even 3 or 4 children. So this is a big challenge. And
so what is the complication that you face delivering these children who are 14? There was another one delivered in Arua district, Vura, around 9 years.
Yes.
So what are the complications that you face as you handle them?
Of course, when you look into this, there are so many complications that comes across because, first of all, the pelvis of this mother is not ready and cannot be able to be so flexible in order to release this baby at ease. And then when you look at this mother, and then also the walls of the body where this baby matures, when he is not enough, is not mature enough, you will find this mother will experience tear and wear. And then when tear and wear happens inside the body, then this one can lead to PPH, which is postpartum hemorrhage. And then this mother can continue to bleed until death. Because a mother is, or a lady is supposed to get a baby after age of 18. That is the recommended one for us in Uganda. And then when a lady gets a baby before that year, you should anticipate that there is high risk in this. And then when we are handling this, we handle it with care and then also with caution. And then we also do a lot of assessments and also interventions to see that while this baby is delivering, while this mother is delivering the baby, the mother should be on safer side and also the baby should also be on safer side. So in order to avoid the cases or the challenges of complications being developed, either to the side of the mother or either to the side of the baby. Yeah.
Okay, we are almost winding up the discussions. I want maybe you need to highlight on some of the solutions to these infant mortalities and prenatal deaths. You remember, there are a lot of issues that are coming up from this. Remember, so many people are still embracing those traditional, going to those traditional birth attendants. We still have this attitude of people not really understanding certain things in the health facilities, especially most concerns have been levied on the nurses who deliver these mothers. The issues to do with their behavior of maybe telling, I don't know if that is professional trained, telling them mother to push the child, the baby in a mild way, I think doesn't sound well for them. They want to shout, and which doesn't go well with some mothers. And from community to the health facilities, actually to the health facilities and also now to the health worker themselves and to the government, what are the things that you think we can be doing in order to improve on this charge to ensure that at least it is lowered and West Nile goes at a better stage now in this country?
Yeah, thank you so much, moderator. First of all, when we look at the issue of curbing these challenges of prenatal and child death, it is a role of not only the health workers, as I'd said before, it is the role of the community, the role of the health workers, the role of the entire government. And also, when the government plays its role, and then the communities, when the government and also the health workers play their role, and also the community does not play their role, and then still we shall see a failure. And then when the communities play their role, and then also to some extent the health workers and also the government do not play their role, and then we will also see the same disease burden.
What are the roles of these stakeholders you mentioned, the government, the community, and the health workers? What are the roles in fighting these infant mortalities and prenatal deaths?
Yeah. When we look into the roles, the roles, they vary. And first of all, to start up with the communities, when we look at the community level, the communities needed to take up the services that are delivered at the health facilities. And then 2, they needed to take up the sensitizations programs, the education programs that are given to them by the health workers and the VHTs at their community level. Because if they don't take up these educational activities well, and then also the campaigns that we do at the village levels, if they don't perceive them well, and then at the end of the day, we are going to have the same challenge. But I would advocate that our regions in West Nile, our villages, our VHTs, our health workers, we should not get tired of sensitizing these people, and then also of enforcing the required laws into our communities in order to see that the implementation of the program, to see to it that the prenatal and child death is reduced.
Okay, maybe at the health facility level, what is lacking that government needs to address in order to also effectively make sure that the health facilities work towards curbing down these cases of infant mortalities and prenatal deaths?
Basically, at the health facility level, I would say there needs to be increased the number of health workers. When you look at the population of Uganda that is accessing the health facilities, the numbers are real great. And then this means that the number of health workers has to be increased so that there will be efficiency in the work. Because normally there is also a ratio of a doctor, of a patient and a doctor. And then when the number is not appropriate one, and then when the number is very high, you'll see to it that it is a big challenge, because the doctor might be aiming at finishing the number, because if the last person does not see the doctor, the person might grow annoyed. So in this course, you'll see that the doctor will be interested in also finishing the number of people in the line. So, which means that the service provision, while the doctor is seeing these patients, is not adequately given. So I will advocate the government also to increase the number of health workers, that is the doctors, the nurses, and then the laboratory technicians at the health facility level. And then number 2, then there needs to be increased empowerment of the health workers. And then the government needs to adequately continue with the continuous medical education at the health facilities. You know, there is education that is normally given to the health workers at facility level. We call it CME, continuous medical education. And then also I would advocate that the government needs to improve the health facility equipments and also infrastructural development. And then this would also improve the aspect of us having preventing the prenatal and child death.
Okay. All right, that is it for the discussions that we had prepared for you in the Kokoliriko so for this Wednesday edition. Remember, I earlier told you that tomorrow we are all moving out to celebrate the teachers, and there's a lot that will be happening there, and for districts that have not prepared, you should be able to make sure that the final preparations are done today. Remember, in Yarua City here, there were issues to do with these border borders joining, moving ahead of the teachers in terms of feeding. Remember, there were scrambles over meat and so on. We don't want to see those things happening tomorrow. But I've been discussing on this health touching issue with Joa Fenhas, who is one of the health workers attached to Arua City Health Department. And my name is Frederick Tamadri. Up next, we'll be having the news in Lugarati, brought to you by Feta Emmanuel. And after that, we'll be having more other programs that will be followed by the Northern Request and shown many others that will fall suit. And we say bye-bye for now.
Yeah.